Hey history friends, my name's Lindsay and today we're talking about 18th century food preservation and a super easy recipe, sauerkraut. Sauerkraut was a very well documented food in the 18th century, especially with sailors and soldiers during the Revolutionary War because it helped prevent scurvy. Scurvy was a horrible disease that killed a lot of people, sadly, during that time frame, but sauerkraut was a magical food that they discovered in the 1750s that helped prevent and treat scurvy, and so we see it documented a lot. So all you need for sauerkraut, it's super easy to make. You just need cabbage and salt and then something to put your sauerkraut in so it can ferment. If you have a crock, crocks are a popular option. However, if it's an antique crock, you have to be careful because a lot of them are lead glazed lined. Sauerkraut is acidic and it can react with that lead lining and leach lead into your sauerkraut, and we don't want that, right? So I would caution you from using an antique crock, but if you have a modern one, that's great. What I like to use though is just one of these big mason jars, and I found this at Walmart last year, but they sell them on Amazon and everywhere else. This is called a fermentation lid, and it comes with the spring, and you see it has the foot that helps keep your items like pressed down into the liquid, and then the lid has this little vent, and this is very important because sauerkraut, again, it's creating that good bacteria, but it's very gassy and it needs to be able to burp and to let that gas out, okay? So whatever you put your sauerkraut in, you want to make sure you have a way to weigh it down so that the cabbage stays underneath of the water and that it's not airtight. You want some air to be able to escape. You want that gas to be able to escape. Okay, I've got my jar packed full of my cabbage and the liquid that was in the bottom of the bowl, and now I'm just going to place on my fermentation lid. The potato masher looking side goes down towards your cabbage, and then you simply place your lid on and screw it on, okay? Now, you just simply let this sit. You don't have to stir it, you don't have to mess with it. It's going to create its own liquid, and eventually the liquid will come up to the top here and it will cover the cabbage. You may have to keep an eye on it and push the cabbage down if there's any that's poking out above the liquid, but otherwise it's pretty easy. After a week you can eat it, it'll already be fermented, but the longer you let it go, the more fermented it gets and the stronger and better the flavor is, in my opinion. So super easy, and once you've had homemade sauerkraut, you'll never want store-bought again. Give it a try.